Hi guys, how is everybody doing? It's been a while, I feel like, since I've seen you, but it probably hasn't. Let's see, I just realized I do not have my mic in or on, so give me one quick second. I'll let some other people go ahead and get on here. Today we are going to quickly cut, and then we are going to go over the art, heat apply, and we are layering soft flock. So I'm very, very excited about this. It's going to be a really fun design. We're going to use pink and black. So let me grab my mic so I don't sound so crazy to you guys, and I'll be right back. One sec. Okay, it's funny, as much as I have done this, you think I would remember my mic now. Okay. Let me know, does this sound any better to you guys? Let's see. Coming in, if you are new and tuning in to us live, I'm Kelly Walters, and make sure in the comments you tell us where you're tuning in from. We love to see wherever it is that you're tuning in, whether it's here in the States or outside the country. It's always great to give you guys a good shout out. Stacy is on the other side, and she is going to make sure you guys are staying up to date with the links, the products that we're using, the garment we're going to be decorating on. Stace, if you can just give me a quick, my mic is okay. I can hear echo from the heat press, but if you could just give me like, sounds good and I don't sound crazy, we'll get going. So just to show you what we are working with, this is our new pink soft flock. I am checking in echo and feedback. Is anybody else getting echo and feedback? There is echo. Okay, let's see. Is this any better? Let me know if this is any better, you guys. Oh, thanks, Fox House. You said minimal. Same here, and nice, good picture. Okay, cool. We're gonna keep moving on. So, this is the pink flock that we are going to be using, and then we're gonna keep it simple with black. The really, really cool thing with flock is, you guys, we can layer it on top of each other. So, I know with a lot of texture and material, or like materials that have texture or density, there's a lot of times when it's asked if you can layer, the answer is no. So in this case, we can, I just put the tape back on it, even though we need to go through here. Everything old is new again. Yes, so I personally love flock. It's very, very lightweight. It moves really well with a garment compared to, say, something like twill. And I love a good spin retro feel. So I feel like flock is right up my alley. I'm using a GS24. I am going to do my best for you guys to see cutting, but the way I have it set up today, this is what you're going to get, and I can't take my cord out, otherwise it messes up my streaming. So I'm just gonna go ahead and thread this puppy in here. And then I'm just adjusting my pinch rollers to hold down and secure our material in place. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the art, but like I said, we are going to review that once we are done cutting. This is a template that is now preloaded in CadWorks. We got that updated right before we went live. And so you can just go click, grab it, and use it. But I want to be able to show you how to get, you know, the look without using the template if you do not use CadworxLIVE. Oh my God. You guys in your comments always crack me up. Is anybody tried our new soft lock? Go ahead and just like post the, you know, raise your hand emoji, or you have, I know it was newly released, so Flock 2 is going away, Soft Flock is here. Let me know, because I'm really curious of those that have already been playing with it or not. Okay, so I am going to show you, I'm going to share my screen, which is going to take us to CadworxLIVE.com. That's CadworxLive.com. I'm going to go ahead and remove the press. There we go. Okay, so this is the logo that we are using today. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I went and got the lightning bolt off of an SVG place, so I'm not going to tell you that. I've gone ahead and imported a file that is the lightning bolt. I will show you how to go ahead and import a file as well, and then where you can find this Girl Gang template. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and cut this, and then I will work through the stages of creating that art. I'm popping up a vector cut. If you see it on the screen, it says send a vector cut, which is in the far left-hand column down at the very bottom. What that does is it sends directly to my cutting software that I use for my Roland. It allows me to not have to save the file, export it, then upload it to a completely different area. It was just a one-click boom and it pops up. Let's see. Okay, now what I'm doing is, I know you guys can't see this, if you want to here, let's do that. All right, here is my vector cut. This is what I'm currently doing. I've gone ahead and mirrored my art, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove that lightning bolt. We don't need that. Right now, my design is at 10.5 inches in width. Now my roll, it'll tell me what my size is. I'm gonna go ahead and mirror that back. Pink is already loaded, so I'm gonna select the pink color. And I have 10.6 to work with. We may have to shorten this. And then I have way more than 9 inches. All right, I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to making sure I don't have any art not being cut. Too many times where I have attempted to just put everything on there and then I end up ruining more material than anything. Okay, we have a really good question. I'm going to pause for just a quick second. This is an excellent question. So, Alan, the Roland VersaCam 300. There are some materials that aren't recommended to be cut on a VersaCAM because you have ink heads, and you don't want any of those fibers to potentially get into your heads, because then it costs more to, there we go. It's going to cost more to replace those. My recommendation would be to just go ahead and get a cutter, so a Roland or a Graphtec. And then to side to that question is, can this be used with a Cricut or less industrial cutter? I believe it can. And the reason why I'm saying I believe is because I have a silhouette and I have not tested it, but I believe Jenna might have. So if you want to follow up with me, kelly.walters@stahls.com, I will definitely make sure I get that answer for you. But I find that this material cuts pretty well. It's one that you can always test. So to Alan's question, if it can be used on a craft cutter, then that's the route I would go if you're doing minimal quantities. Otherwise, just get this thing. It's going to spit it out a heck of a lot faster than doing one at a time. But Box House, definitely give it a go. Oh, okay. So Michelle says that she's cut it on her Cricut. So there you go. All right, guys. I'm going to send you back to, well, actually, we'll just keep it here. Okay, one thing I always like to do is check my force, and I always do a quick little test cut. All right, what I'm doing is I'm just filling underneath the layer of material to make sure that I'm not cutting through. I don't feel any type of ridge. And maybe one more test cut. Right now I'm at 90 grams of force on my Roland. And because some of you do consistent cutting all day long, I strongly recommend that you always do that test cut. Even if you see the recommended cutting settings, still test, because you might have maybe a more dull blade, or you might have a brand spanking new blade, and then you're going to really need to dial back that amount of force. And then instead of resetting and going through the whole thing, I'm just moving over my blade, as you can see. Okay, so this is ready to go. So this is one of the reasons why I recommend going industrial if you can, is because this is going to cut it out so quickly. I moved everything around and now I can't find what I need. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside and then switch out to black. Now we are definitely using a lot of texture today. Our fleece that we're going to be using is textured. And I thought a soft cloth would just layer really nice on top of that to really keep that really smooth, kind of velvety finish. For those of you that have never used flock before or have used our flock, I describe it as a crushed velvet. It is, you can definitely tell there's fibers in it. It's extremely soft, but it just really reminds me of crushed velvet, because if you were to take your finger and just pick through it, you can see that there's fibers in there. Okay, I'm going to check the comments. Send this guy a cut. Let's see. Fernando, I am at 90 grams of force, 25 centimeters per second, and 0.3 on my millimeters. And I don't do production with my cutter. What you see me doing with my cutter right now is what I do. I use it for education and content purposes. So I'm definitely not getting the wear and tear out of my blade that, you know, somebody doing this as a job would. Let's see. Denise, we are layering soft flock. So soft flock is going right on top of it. Now, this does have a lot more, as I'm shaking. It has a lot more to cut because there is a leopard pattern on top of our lightning bolt. So it's going to take just a little bit before. Yeah, I love this. Okay, so previous flock 2 could not be layered. Our new soft flock can be layered. So this is a really big, exciting moment in I'd say the heat transfer world, just because most of the time you cannot layer the two materials. Now, the other thing that you can do is you could put, keep touching my desk, soft block, say on top of ultraweed. As long as the bottom material can be layered, then soft block could go on top of that. So you could get extremely dimensional. You could bring out different types of sheens. So ultraweed is matte. Soft block looks as like it's matte, but it's going to have that texture. I mean, I could go on and on with how you could really create a masterpiece with this. And yes, it is the new soft block. Okay, so all of our art is done. Okay, so I'm going to set these over by the heat press. Oh, good idea, Premium Plus. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to CadworxLIVE. Okay, so like I said, I imported the lightning bolt. Now, if you are one where maybe you're not cheetah fan, maybe you like zebra or Dalmatian's really hot right now. Maybe you want something different. I want to show you how we can create this look. Now, there's a couple of different ways. You could stamp out the pink if you really wanted to, but we're going to actually use 2 layers of black and then 1 layer of the pink. Okay, so here the first thing that I want to do is actually go ahead and add some clip art. So if we go to clip art, we can see that we already have a couple of animal patterns in there. The snow leopard, tiger pattern, giraffe. I'm just going to go ahead and use the snow leopard since that is pretty much what we're using. Slightly different, but you can either upload your own, create your own. Now, from here, what you can do next is go to your lightning bolt, and then we want to create an outline around that. So you go to Add Effect, and then you're going to do, where is it? My small contour. And this is going to add a layer behind it. Now I want this line to be a little bit thicker, so I'm adjusting the offset. And then from here, I cannot stand that gray, so I'm going to go ahead and just change it to blue. Again, it's only for art purposes. The gray doesn't mean anything. It's just visually, I don't want to see it. Next, we need to go to shaping and then break apart by colors. And then I'm not going to do anything else, but I am going to go ahead and highlight it. And then from here, I'm going to do back minus front so I can get that outline of the lightning bolt. Now, the next thing that I need to do is make this much larger. And then I am just going to set my lightning bolt right into our pattern. And then back minus front again. And then we are going to remove our lightning bolt. Now, as you can see, there is a outline or creating some separation around this leopard. So from here, to make sure we can have this leopard, kind of pattern to go directly over it, you want to break apart by curves. So again, into shaping. I'm going back and forth between the comments. Now, this is where it definitely gets a little bit tricky because you can, you could definitely make your outline wider, have it, more prominent definition. But because this is just really show purposes, I just want to show you how you create something like this. Now, next, you just start deleting all of that extra print. These two hands here, around our lightning bolt. This does take a little bit more detail involved, and of course time, but it's a really, really unique concept. And of course, if you are lucky and you have an artist or you are just that skilled, then you can probably create this a little bit easier. I always like to preface, I am not a graphic artist. This was actually a design created by someone in our company, but I just really wanted to be able to show you guys how you could do something like this if we didn't have a template already created. Okay, we are almost done. I'm getting foot happy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. All righty, so from here, I just want to go ahead and condense my design back. So that's going to make sure if I don't click on one little leopard pattern, it's not going to completely pull apart the design. And then I am just going to turn it back to being black. Now, as you can see, it would just fit right over the leopard. Again, this is a slightly different pattern, but this is how you would create that. Another way is to stamp it out. So if we import our clip art, go to leopard, and then we should have it. That's my front. Or I might need to switch it. There we go. So then this is another way that you can do it. The only reason why I didn't like it this way is because it's actually, turning it more black than red. And I didn't want to read all of those tiny cavities, where this is going to just have a few, but otherwise this should be pretty fluid when it comes to weeding. All right, next is we need to create this little shadow effect. And all I'm going to do is just duplicate my red, turn it black, send it to the back, and then just position it however I would like that shadow. Oh, too close. So perfect. All right, that is how you do the lightning bolt from just CadworxLIVE. Again, absolutely no template. In this case, we are I just wanted to give you guys an idea. You don't have to do broking. You can easily use like good vibes only. But I just absolutely love taking something simple and then kind of morphing it into something else. Again, I am not a graphic artist, so something like that can be a really cool wow factor. Now, to change that up a little bit, you could add another layer of color in this. So the black could become yellow. Oops. And no, I am not secretly putting out Kansas City Chiefs. I know, Super Bowl's coming. I'm in Kansas City, so, you know, it's kind of fun. So you could easily do something like this, turn it towards game day. I think it would be really fun to do girl and game and game and day, and then make those lightning bolts whatever your team color is. So for something like this, you could really have a boutique retail inspiration and then completely switch it up for sports, and you're utilizing almost your same design. So doing minimal changes in terms of artwork, which will, you know, give you a little bit more of a return on what that graphic or what that product costs hourly for you to complete. Okay, so our logos are already designed. They've cut, weeded, or we need to weed, and then we're going to heat apply. So what I'm going to do is actually go to the heat press to weed. That is one of the easier spots for me to weed in terms of space. And I want you to see, I find soft block to be fairly easy to weed. Let's see, really quick, let me show you the garment. Now, this is from S&S Activewear. It is J America. It's the women's teddy fleece crew neck pullover, and it's item 8681. This feels so soft. So this is what it looks like. We are doing the gray, and I really like that it doesn't have a banded bottom. It is straight, and it has this little notch. It does look like it's a little bit shorter in the front and a little bit longer in the back. So if you're looking to go for more of a retail spend, then this would be a perfect way to kind of pair with leggings or joggers, or even just wear with jeans. But this feels like a chenille blanket. It's just so soft and cushy. It is 100% polyester, so we are good to go with the soft flock. And then there are 19 colors available in soft flock. So it's a very, very good color range. You know, there's not only like 8 colors. You can pretty much get, you know, the majority of the colors that you need. Really quick, I'm going to just take you to our website. I'm saving my art really quick, that way I don't mess that up. Okay, so let's go to the Stahls website. If you go to CAD Cut Direct, then Heat Transfer Vinyl, and then scroll over to soft flock. From here, you can find cutting settings, you can find application settings, you can find the colors that are available, how to layer, basically all of the instructions that you would possibly need. So as you can see, there's a variety of colors. And then if you go into details, you can download color charts. It's telling you certain things about it, like it can only be layered on itself. So you could not put another material on to soft flock. You can only layer soft flock on a material that could be layered, or soft flock on soft flock. So here's what's really cool. Soft flock can be applied at 311 for 15 seconds, peel warm. Previously, the temperature was higher and it was a cold peel, and now it is a warm peel. Here you see that it was 80 grams of force and I was at 90. I'm pretty sure that I could be at 80 if I needed to. Okay, so let's go to the cutter, or the heat press. All right, so this is what we're working with. I'm going to adjust this just a smidge. Okay, so first we need to go ahead and weed. Now, in this case, there are some materials that you can actually put and weed on the heat press that will help. This is just more for me needing the surface area for weeding. So as you can see, I find that this goes pretty easy when it comes to weeding. Except I do have a little. Now our art is pretty simple. We're going to get a little more detailed, of course, with the black, as that is our leopard overlay. I might need to switch my blade out. Okay, so I am curious if I am having a blade issue, because I was messing with soft block all week and not having a single cutting issue. Okay, so the first part is done and complete, and as you can see, this is a pretty fuchsia pink. There is a light pink that is beautiful, but I like this top, especially since our garment is gray and has a couple of different tones. I felt like that gray is just going to really help that pink top. Okay, so I'm going to set that one aside. And let's do the second one. Now, I want you guys to be able to see as best as possible. You can see all those tiny little leopard spots. Now, if this was something we would have to weed out, that would take so much time. In this case, I should be able to pull that apart a little bit. Now I am going to go just a little bit slower on weeding that leopard, just to make sure I don't have too many hiccups. I'd like to pay attention. Now the carrier of this is actually pretty tacky. So that's going to allow for these finer details to just stay in place when weeding. If you guys could really see how good this is going. Now, I do have a couple that didn't stay up. Okay, so we got one lightning bolt done. We're almost done, you guys. I know that this is probably the most tedious part and one of the most boring. Not everybody wants to sit and watch somebody weave, but it's going to be really cool and give us a really cool effect, especially if you are taking a really, really soft garment and then putting a thicker, soft material on it. It's only going to just really increase the plushness of the garment overall. Okay. Now, I did have a couple of those guys fall off. I am definitely rushing the weeding process on this second one because I just want to get to heat applied and show you what this final product looks like. Okay. So that is the weeded part of our second part of our logo. Sorry, I'm peeking on the other side just to make sure you guys can see it. Let's see. Alrighty, so now that that is complete, I am going to thread my garment. So I'm going to open it like a pillowcase, slide it over my 16 by 20. And then what I'm going to set my press at, I'm going to turn it down. It was set at 325. I want to pre-press the garment for 5 seconds. And then I'm going to tack the first layer for 10 seconds. And then the second layer, we will come in for the full the full 15 seconds, and everything will be complete. Now, I just want to make sure that I don't have any seams on the heat platen, so I am just pulling that off as much as possible. I'm going to cover with my cover sheet. Now, this is also a really good time to test your pressure. So make sure you do pre-press. It gets out any moisture. You can't really see wrinkles in this, but just in case there was. Okay. Now, the next thing about soft flock, you guys, is this is going to be a, and are you guys able to see me? I noticed that I was frozen on my heat press. So if that stays frozen, then I will pivot the camera. But before I switch back over, I just noticed I am definitely frozen on that side. So really quick, if you guys could just pop in the comments and let me know if anything is frozen for you. I keep seeing that I am glitching definitely on my other camera. Let's see, I'll give it just a couple quick moments. All right, I'm gonna try it again. Really blurry. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's do. I shouldn't be glitchy at all in terms of internet, but really fast. This is an awesome idea. Yeah, there's a lot of details in that, but talk about bringing texture to life with the Bernie Sanders. You guys, Jenna did a video, I think it was last Friday, on the new patterns, and that turned out awesome. Okay, so I am seeing that you guys are saying it's getting better, so we're gonna rock and roll now. I'll check it again periodically, so if you hear me pause, that's why. Okay, so are we good? I'm testing this. Gotta love being live, right? You can't control the internet. Okay, so we are down to 310 on our press. Everything is set up, ready to go. It is a low pressure, so we're going to be at a 3 to 4 psi on our auto clam here. And all right, the first one I'm going to use is going to be the pink, and that's because we're going to be putting that black right on top of what we're doing. Bear with me. There we go. All right, I always like to find a center and then just crease into to help if I can match up. There we go. And then with the collar, I'm going to go almost 4 down. With some things, I just don't like to be too close to the neck. Yeah, I'm at about a 3. Right here is the edge of the collar. And then I just take my tag and I go back to where I find the crease and I just follow it straight up. Now, if you want to just verify where everything is going to end up, you can easily just go ahead and add your second layer right on top of that. And then you can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so like I said, we're just going to tap this puppy down 10 seconds. And it's a worn peel. So what I do is I just lightly touch, you know, our heat applied logo. And if it's extremely hot, I just give it a quick second. Just make sure it's not right off of the press. Now, because you do have a texture, you can see it pulling up from the garment. Just make sure if you are peeling that you don't rip too hard just because you're pulling, you know, those threads out. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna try to go this way. You guys, I have nothing else going right now, meaning internet-wise, so I'm not quite sure. You're gonna see my space. I really want you to see this because I think this is one of the biggest parts about this soft block. So we're gonna try to keep it like this, and hopefully this will work for you guys. We'll get it finished. I'll pop this screen back up, and we'll stop using the other space. Let me go ahead and just remove that. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up the lightning bolts. That's pretty much my center for making sure everything is where it needs to be. And because we have, you know, a little bit of detail to this, I'm okay if it's not completely centered. I think that adds just a little bit more character to this type of logo. Okay, so from here, we're going to go ahead and finish for the full 15 seconds. Now, I know textured garments are very, very popular right now, and it's always a question of how can I decorate them? You know, how can you keep that really soft type of logo? And there's a ton of materials. Twill is still great, but you have to worry about frayed edges. So that's why soft flock is excellent. Even the soft foam, there's just more colors available in soft flock right now. And keep in mind, flock can be layered, so that's one less thing that you have to do. Now, if you had any type of creasing in your design, easily put your cover sheet back over, tack it, not tack it, but hit it for 2-3 seconds, smooth all of that out, and you would be good to go. In this case, I am going to quickly adjust my camera and let you guys see it up close and personal. So sorry for the internet issues. Just when you think you get figured it, just when you think you get it figured out, there's a wrench thrown in. So just bear with me. I'm going to be pivoting again. Let's see. Okay. So this is what it looks like. There we go. Up close and personal. I think this turned out so fun. I really hope you guys like this idea, and especially this whole layered block. Let me see. There we go. So if you can see the dimension and the texture, it's raised. The sweatshirt still stays fuzzy. You still have that really, really soft garment. This would be awesome on a blanket just because it's going to stay really nice and cozy. Great for onesies. So anything that's soft, or you don't want a lot of scratchy texture, or you don't want it to be smooth, go to this. Go to soft flock. Bring it back. If you're like, oh, that's retro, be the trend starter. tell your customers what they need. So, okay, this again was layering the soft flock. Trying to get my camera to do another quick up close. And the Girl Gang logo should be in CadworxLIVE. It should be in the 2020, the new designs. This guy back here is actually layered soft flock as well. It is the white with the black on top. I'll just show you. So this is definitely more of a retro, very unisex design, but this white and black has been layered. And then, of course, the red is more of the knockout. So there's a couple of different ways to make flock work for, you know, whether it's sports or retail, and then, of course, both male, female, masculine, more feminine. But if you guys have any questions, as always, you know to reach out. Again, kelly.walters@stahls.com. Make sure you tune in every Thursday as we go live. Thanks for being patient through the internet hiccup, even though I just upgraded my internet. And stay tuned. We'll see you guys soon. Talk to you later. Bye.